$1 million? That's the number everyone throws at you the second you say the word retirement. Plug your age into any calculator and it spits out 7 figures like it's gospel. If you're in your 40s or 50s looking at what you've actually saved, that number doesn't feel like a goal. It feels like a door slamming shut. The $1 million target isn't wrong because the math is bad. It's wrong because it's missing a variable. Add that variable back in, and the real number for an average retired couple living off dividends lands somewhere between $300,000 and $575,000, roughly half of what you've been told. I'll show you exactly where that number comes from using Social Security Administration data, Bureau of Labor Statistics spending figures, and the 2026 IRS tax code. No guesswork, no motivational filler, just the math. 3 things by the end of this video. First, what I'm calling the 63% floor. The reason Social Security does more heavy lifting than almost anyone gives it credit for. Second, the 0% zone, a legal tax bracket where a retired couple can collect close to $100,000 in dividends and pay the federal government nothing. And third, the median reality check, what the Federal Reserve found when it asked real households how much they'd actually saved. By the time we're done, you'll have a formula you can run on your own numbers tonight. Let's start with the 2 numbers that matter most. The Bureau of Labor Statistics tracks exactly what retired households spend every year through its Consumer Expenditure Survey. The most recent data, released in September of 2025, puts the average household aged 65 and up at $61,432 a year in total spending. Now, the income side. The Social Security Administration's 2026 Cost of Living Adjustment Fact Sheet puts the average retired couple's combined benefit at $3,208 a month. Annualized, that's $38,496 a year, guaranteed, inflation adjusted, arriving every single month for the rest of both of your lives. Do the subtraction. 61,432 minus 38,496. The gap is $22,936 a year. That's the only number your portfolio actually has to cover. Take that gap and divide it by a realistic sustainable dividend yield, not a fantasy one. We'll get to why that distinction matters in a minute. But for now, use 4%. 22,936 divided by 0.04 equals roughly $573,000. At 4.5% yield, it drops to around $510,000. That's the real number. Not the average retiree's total net worth, but the portfolio required to close the gap Social Security leaves open. And Social Security is the reason that gap is so small in the first place. This is the piece almost every retirement calculator leaves out entirely. Go back to those 2 figures, $38,496 in average Social Security income against $61,432 in average spending. That means Social Security alone already covers about 63% of the average retired household's entire budget before your portfolio contributes a single dollar. Most retirees don't fully register this because Social Security doesn't feel like an asset. It doesn't show up on a brokerage statement, and there's no ticker symbol to check every morning, but functionally, it behaves exactly like an inflation-protected annuity that never runs dry, paying out roughly $38,500 a year to the average couple. If you tried to buy that income stream privately, you'd need a portfolio worth far more than $1 million just to replicate it. You already have it. It's just called Social Security. This is also where housing status moves the math quite a bit. The BLS average is skewed upward by households still carrying a mortgage or paying big city rent. A couple with a paid-off home realistically spends closer to $52,000 a year. Run the same subtraction. $52,000 minus $38,496 leaves a gap of about $13,500. At 4% yield, that's a portfolio of roughly $338,000 for a mortgage-free couple, well under half the $1 million figure most calculators throw at you. This part tends to surprise even people who've been investing for years. Under IRS Revenue Procedure 2025-32, a married couple filing jointly in 2026 pays 0% federal tax on qualified dividends and long-term capital gains as long as their total taxable income stays under $98,900. Not a lower rate, an actual 0. Stack the standard deduction on top of that and it gets even wider. The 2025 standard deduction for a married couple is $31,500, plus an additional deduction for being 65 or older, plus a new senior bonus deduction from the One Big Beautiful Bill Act signed in July of 2025. Worth $6,000 per person, $12,000 per couple, running through tax year 2028. Stack all 3 together and a qualifying couple can shelter up to roughly $46,700 in deductions alone before the 0% bracket even starts counting. Put simply, a retired couple living primarily on qualified dividends can realistically collect close to $100,000 a year and send the federal government nothing. That's not a loophole. It's written directly into the tax code, and almost nobody at this income level is using it on purpose. There's a trap hiding right next to that gift, though, and I'm calling it the frozen threshold trap. The income thresholds that decide whether your Social Security benefits themselves get taxed, $25,000 and $34,000 for a single filer, $32,000 and $44,000 for a couple, were set by law back in 1984. They have never once been adjusted for inflation, not in over 40 years. The Congressional Research Service confirms that when the Greenspan Commission designed these thresholds, they expected only about 10% of Social Security recipients would ever be affected. Because the numbers stayed frozen while wages and Social Security payments kept rising with inflation, the taxable share of all benefits climbed from 12.2% in 1994 to 38.2% in 2022, and more than half of all beneficiaries now pay some tax on their checks. If that $32,000 couple threshold had simply kept pace with wage growth since 1984, it would sit above $96,000 today. It doesn't. It's still 32,040 years of an unindexed number turning into a stealth tax. The confusion usually starts here. Most retirement rules of thumb, including the famous 4% rule, come from a 1994 paper by William Bengen and the 1998 Trinity study. Those studies modeled a portfolio in total isolation. No Social Security in the model, no pension, just a lump sum withdrawn against market returns over 30 years. That's a completely different question than the one you're asking. The Trinity study asks how much a portfolio needs to fund 100% of your spending. Living off dividends asks how much a portfolio needs to fund the gap left over after Social Security. Those two questions produce two very different required portfolio sizes, and conflating them is exactly how the million-dollar number gets stapled onto every retirement conversation regardless of whether it fits your situation. The second mistake is chasing yield instead of chasing sustainability. Right now, in mid-2026, the S&P 500's dividend yield sits around 1%, near historic lows, because the index is dominated by low-yield mega-cap tech companies. Meanwhile, the 10-year Treasury yields around 4.5%. When you see an ETF or a stock advertising 8%, 9%, sometimes higher, that yield usually isn't coming from real earnings. It's coming from return of capital or an unsustainable payout structure that eventually gets cut. A realistic, sustainable blended yield for a dividend income sleeve sits in the 3.5% to 4.5% range, built from quality dividend growers, some REI exposure, and a bit of Treasury ballast. Every calculation in this video sticks to that range, not the flashy headline yields you'll see advertised elsewhere. Let's run this for 3 different situations so you can find yours. Tier 1. The paid-off home couple. Spending around $52,000 a year. Social Security covering $38,496, leaving a gap of $13,500. At 4% yield, that's a required portfolio of about $338,000. Tier 2, the average couple, using the full BLS figure. Spending $61,432, gap of $22,936, required portfolio around $573,000 at 4%, or $510,000 at 4.5%. Tier 3, a single retiree. Average Social Security for a single retired worker in 2026 is $2,071 a month, or $24,852 a year, according to the SSA. A modest single-person budget around $45,000 a year leaves a gap of roughly $20,000. At 4% yield, that's a portfolio around $500,000. Every tier lands in the same $300,000 to $575,000 range. Not one of them touches $1 million. If those numbers still feel out of reach, look at what the Federal Reserve's 2022 Survey of Consumer Finances actually found. Median retirement savings for households aged 65 to 74 is $200,000. For age 75 and up, it's $130,000. Vanguard's How America Saves report, using year-end 2025 data, shows a median 401k balance for the 65-plus group of just over $103,000. The typical near retiree in America has roughly $200,000 saved, not $1 million. And Social Security is the reason millions of them still retire successfully anyway. The $1 million rule was never the real bar for the median household. It was an average pulled upward by a small number of very wealthy outliers, and it got repeated so often that it started to feel like a requirement instead of a myth. A few things would push these numbers higher, and this channel doesn't do fantasy math, so let's name them. If you rent instead of own, housing alone is about 1/3 of the average household budget, and that gap widens. If you retire before 65, you lose Medicare, and the healthcare gap grows. If you claim Social Security at 62 instead of your full retirement age, your benefit gets cut by roughly 30%, which shrinks that 63% floor significantly. And every yield figure in this video is dated to a specific day. Yields move. The math holds, but check the current numbers before you act on any of it. Quick recap. The 63% floor. Social Security already covers most of an average couple's spending before your portfolio does anything. The 0% zone. A legal tax bracket that lets a couple collect close to $100,000 in dividends tax-free. The frozen threshold trap. A 40-year-old, never-indexed number quietly taxing more retirees every year. And the median reality check. The typical American nearing retirement has $200,000, not $1 million, and still makes it work. Run your own gap. Take what you actually spend, subtract your expected Social Security benefit, and divide what's left by 4%. That's your real number, not somebody else's $1 million headline. That door I said felt like it was slamming shut at the start of this video? It isn't. It was never a $1 million door. It was a $300,000 to $575,000 door. And for a lot of you watching, that's a door you can actually walk through. Drop your gap number in the comments, spending minus your expected Social Security, and I'll help you sanity check the math. And if you're still working out how to actually build the income side of this equation month by month, go watch How to Live Off Dividends. Starting at your 40s or 50s, you're not late. Here's the 2026 math. That video walks through the exact system step by step. You're not behind. You were just handed the wrong number.